basically I've got a loose idea that they need some help, and so I've gone to our systems engineer and said, chuck me some quotes and some pricing around some stuff we've done, and I'm just going to wing it with a conversation when I'm talking to the client to see what they want, but I'll have some costs on here to back up some of my I just need to do some prep around before we go. So I've got a list of things that I want to talk to them about already. What I also need to do is print off some costings that I previously got from our systems engineer. So I'll just find that now and print it. And then we can take that with us on site. We'll talk about their phones. She says that their phones are really slow, so we'll talk about that with them. They're also saying that their system is slow. They have got an older version that we need to talk about how we're going to upgrade it. And then their SQL is out of date, so we need to make a plan for that. And we've got all of that at an indicative rental payments price in here. Okay. So just along those lines, is being a consultant, you often find that sometimes you're just a sounding board and an ear for other clients. So what we find with our medium-sized businesses is that there's a lot of maybe junior staff, and then there's the company accountant who we deal with, but the accountant's got no one that they can talk to because all of their staff don't understand. So they often use us as their sounding board to either to gripe sometimes or they just ask our advice and just day-to-day of how to handle things. So you become not only are you IT, but you're also in there as a bit of a supporting ear as well for the client. So it's definitely a varied role, and you need to have that empathetic. I think you need to be quite empathetic to people. Some people can handle that part of the role, but other people kind of can't. Is that? Yeah, that's a park, isn't it? Than I intended, which often happens. So we spoke about updating their server, but our plan is that we're going to upgrade their system, upgrade their hardware, which that'll be John putting through a couple of quotes to them, and then we will start doing a process review. So we've got hundreds of hours of work come out of that visit today, so that's really good. We'll keep showing them some love and we'll tick along. I did offer the support contract for them as well, so I'll go back to the office and talk to Andrea as to whether they want to pay for some hours every month maybe, or whether they actually want to just have set projects. We have to try and work it out cash flow wise, how they pay for everything that needs to be done. And another time a client will say something on email, and then you might do the work on email and then you tell them you've done it, and then they're like, no, that's not what I meant. They're like, oh, even though that's what the email had said. And so you actually need to, when you go out and talk to them, you can actually say, what do you mean by that? And then figure out what it actually really is they need. Yeah, and the thing is that affects our bottom line. Like if I do something for a client because I read the email wrong and billed them and they said no, then that's my fault. So I have to write off that time and then work out what the client really wanted and then bill them. The client will pay for that, but in the meantime, that lost money it's a cost to focus rather than revenue. When you go out on site, you've got the chance to have the conversation with the client, but the client may not always know what they want either. They might say one thing and actually not realise they need another.
So Renee, tell me how you got on.
Wow, so it was a very interesting visit, wasn't it, that we went to see them. I had a list of questions that I wanted to talk to them about. They had a list of questions, so I think we only booked in to go for an hour and we've been for nearly 2 hours there. I wondered whether we could offer them a support contract. Do we still do support contracts?
Absolutely.
Where we just do like monthly set amounts?
No, we do support contracts.
Okay,
Yep.
so how does that work? Is it a tailored to each client, or is it a set
basically
10 hours or?
Yeah, it depends which way we were looking at it. There's support offered via the technical side, and there's a support contract offered via the software support side. Right. So at the moment, the software support is a pre-purchase type scenario.
Yeah, and we can decide how much that's going to be based on.
What suits the client.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, that might be good. So I kind of said to them when we left, so my history with this client is I know that they say they need to get stuff done and then it never
Doesn't happen,
continues.
yeah.
So I said we need to keep momentum up, and I think the only way we will get momentum up is by putting them on a support contract and then have them tick along those 5 or 10 hours or something a month.
Yeah, and making it easy for them.
Yeah, so as well.
Yep, good.
There was no date put in place around when that was going to happen.
Okay.
What they do want to do is they want to set up Capricorn. So, well, they've got Capricorn, and that's the same around parent-child financing that we've just done with the previous client. So I want Blair to go out on site to them and talk them through how to settle that up. Since we've already done it, we can utilise someone else's knowledge for that.
Well, that's good. So they're good conversations, certainly. And I think that by bringing in the wider part of the team, that'll actually come up with some pretty good results.
Yeah, I think Blair will be a good fit for them.
Yeah, great. Excellent.
Oh, we talked